It's just so everybody can hear you.
Everybody
Really.
can hear me? All right. I want to first say thank you for allowing me to come spend some time at your meeting. I don't plan on spending much more than 10 or 15 minutes, so it's not nearly long enough for you to fall asleep. I'll give you a little bit of who I am. As Don indicated, my name is Noah Adams. I've been a county resident here for about 20 years. I live above Carson. I'm involved in the community. I have kids in school. Heavily involved in the swimming pool, which is what brings me here tonight. I'm also part of the Sheriff Dive Rescue Team, who also uses the swimming pool for training. Marcia is here also as part of our group. So, you know a little bit about me. Who we are is a group of concerned citizens that have pulled together, and we call ourselves Citizens for Pool Rescue, CPR, kind of a little catchy little acronym there. And what we're doing is we're concerned about the pool. I've been over the 20 years that I've been here, every time there's a budget crisis, the pool goes on the chopping block. And it's a common thing. That's the first thing to be cut when budgets are tight. Back in 2005, budgets were tight, and the pool was on a chopping block, and we instituted some efforts to try and bring some funding to the pool, but it didn't work. So the reason we're here, and the reason we think the pool is so important, jobs, as you know, are something on everybody's mind now, and the pool currently employs about 18 people, and obviously you learn how to swim at the pool. And most of us who have kids have had kids that have gone through the swimming program that's funded by the school in a state that has a lot of water in it. It's, as you know, very important to teach our kids how to swim. And if you've looked around the state at all, you'll recognize that we're pretty fortunate. Not many school districts have a swim program that pay for your kids to learn how to swim. So your kids are able to learn lifelong life-saving skills by becoming comfortable around the pool. It's also a fun place for kids to go. There's free swim in the evenings and on weekends, and rentals for the kids to do. It also supports our Stevenson High School swim team, who went to districts this year, as well as a club swim program that is run in off-season from the varsity swim team program. There's lap swim, offers a great opportunity for exercise, and there's adult exercise for a lot of the senior citizens. It's the only exercise that they can do because of the low impact of swimming. So we have a lot of people that use the pool for therapy and recovery after surgery. I already mentioned that this community county dive rescue team uses the pool for training. And it's a value to our community. It brings property values are improved by having a swimming pool that's accessible to the public. I just wanted to throw out some figures. The pool's open about 300 days a year, approximately. Last year, we had about 14,400 visits in a year, and that averages out to about 50 visits a day. So most museums would be ecstatic if they got an average of 50 visits a day. So we do get a lot of people going in and out of the pool on an annual basis. The cost to run the pool is obviously why I'm here. And it floats somewhere around $200,000 to $250,000 a year to pay the salaries, maintenance, and operation of the pool. The revenues this pool pulls in by selling passes and charging for swim lessons is about $75,000 a year. So there's about $135,000 shortfall. Most of that $75,000, about 60% of it, is paid for by the school district. And that, again, is the school district paying to have swim lessons so that all of our kids know how to swim. So this $135,000 shortfall has been pitched back and forth between the school and the county for a number of years. So that's where the current funding issues are with the pool. So what we are doing is we're trying to move forward with a longer-term plan to create stable funding for the pool so that when these budget crises come up, we don't have the issue of the pool being on the brink of extinction, because we feel it's an important asset to the community. So what we're doing is we're creating a Parks and Recreation District. This is not associated with the county's Parks and Recreation Department that's stationed out of Rock Creek. This is a separate district. The district boundaries were drawn several months ago, and what we decided as a group was to include school districts number 303 and Skamania school districts number 2. So we morphed those into one district. I do have a district map that I'll leave with you guys for the record, so you can look at that. So the school districts, as you know, 303 encompasses North Bonneville. So North Bonneville will be in the taxing district boundary. So once you establish the boundary of where you'd like to create this taxing district, then you decide how much value is associated with that, and then you decide how much to put a levy for to fund the pool. Right now we're gathering signatures in order to put the levy issue on the November election. In order to get it on the November election, we need about 15% of the registered voters that live within the new district that we just drew. So that equates to approximately 700 signatures. So if you bump into somebody, I have a petition tonight, and I know Marcia does, and between the two of us, we're hoping to maybe stay afterward and see if we can get somebody to sign us up on the petition. Again, signing the petition is not a yes vote for the levy or for the district. It's just an opportunity for us to get it on the ballot to let the voters decide if it's something we want to move forward with. So right now we have till June 1st to get those 700 signatures. So what we're proposing will happen in November if we get the 700 signatures. On the ballot will be a yes or no vote to form this new district. It's like a junior taxing district. It's similar to cemeteries, police, fire, library. So it'll be its own district. So we'll have a yes or no vote to form the district itself. We'll have a yes or no vote to fund the district. And then there will be an election of 5 members of a board that will oversee the district. So the control of this money will lay with those 5 members of the elected board. Obviously, our board members are interested, people that we anticipate, anybody's welcome to run for those positions, but we're hoping that our main thrust will be funding the pool. Funding the pool, what we're estimating or proposing at this time is around 30 to 35 cents per $1,000 assessed value, which works out about $5 to $5.80 a month on a $200,000 assessed home. So I have a bunch of other figures if you're interested in finding out exactly where your home would fit in. But it ends up being somewhere around $60 to $70 a year is what we're proposing. We hope to generate about $250,000 with that. If the cost of running the pool is less than that, the extra money can be used for anything Parks and Recreation related. The community can bring proposals to the board and say, I want new AYSO uniforms for all our soccer kids. I want a new baseball diamond. I want a new scoreboard for the community baseball diamond. So any of those Parks and Recreation types of opportunities would be available for any additional revenue. So I think that's it. Hopefully I didn't talk too quickly. I do have a tendency to do that. I'm hoping I wanted to just kind of have a few minutes to have a conversation with you, let you know where we are. We also are realists. We know that it's tough economic times. We know that it's going to be tough to ask people for additional taxes. We know communities are in difficult situations now with budgets, trying to balance budgets, trying to get the funding to pay for teachers. So we feel that we should move forward with this and see if we can't make it happen. Because in the end, if funding gets tight enough and the pool gets closed, I want to know that I did what I could do to keep the pool open. So that's what we're doing. So, are there any questions I can attempt to answer?
One.
Yes.
Does that include Skamania landing?
Yes, it goes all the way over to Prindle. So the school district for Skamania goes all the way to about Prindle area. So we did include Skamania. We did not choose to include Willard, Millet area, because when you choose an area to include, you have to weigh the benefits of the assessed value of the revenue you'll get from that versus whether or not everybody in that area is going to vote no. And we weren't sure with their proximity to white salmon and other potential levies that we've heard about that they might be included in, that we decided not to draw the line over into the Willard area. So, yes, ma'am.
You mentioned 5 board members that would distribute the money?
That's correct.
Are they paid? or
No,
is it
they are
all-
non-paid positions.
Okay.
It's a good question.